The mystery of Baal, from ancient god to symbol of hidden power. Imagine a night thousands of years ago. The Middle Eastern sky is filled with dark clouds. Lightning strikes across the horizon. Desert winds scream past massive stone temples rising from an ancient city. Torches burn. Shadows of priests move slowly around an altar. People gather. They stare at the sky with a mixture of hope and fear, because for them, rain was not just weather. Rain was survival. And at the center of it all stood one name, Baal, a name that would survive thousands of years, a name mentioned in sacred scriptures, a name that still sparks debate, fear, and even global power theories today. But who exactly was Baal? Chapter 1, The Birth of the Storm ruler. To understand Baal, we must return to a world long before the birth of the world's major religions, a world where humanity depended completely on nature. In the region now known as Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria, there once existed the civilization of Canaan. They were agricultural societies. The land was life, and rain was the miracle that determined the survival of entire nations. In that world, Baal was not just a god. He was nature itself, given a face and personality. In ancient Semitic languages, Baal means lord or master. It was a title used for entities believed to control the greatest forces in their world: storms, rain, and fertility. In ancient texts discovered in the city of Ugarit, Baal is described as a warrior of the skies. He battles Yam, the sea god who represents chaos. He also fights Mot, the god of death and drought. These battles were not just mythology. They were how ancient people explained the cycle of nature. When rain arrived, Baal had won. When drought destroyed crops, Mot ruled the world. For ancient societies, this was not just a story. It was spiritual reality. Chapter 2, When religions collided. History changed when the Israelites introduced a radical idea: one God, not many. Monotheism transformed how humans viewed the spiritual world. But this transformation did not happen peacefully. In the Hebrew Bible, Baal appears not as a god, but as a symbol of idol worship. The Israelites are repeatedly described as being tempted to worship Baal, especially during economic crises and natural disasters. One of the most dramatic stories occurs during the time of the prophet Elijah. According to sacred texts, Elijah challenged hundreds of Baal's priests to a spiritual contest on Mount Carmel. They were asked to call upon their God to send fire from heaven. The priests shouted, danced, and performed rituals all day. Nothing happened. Then Elijah prayed to the one God. Fire fell from the sky, consuming the altar, becoming a symbol of monotheism's victory. This story was not only religious, it marked a civilizational shift from a world of many gods to a belief in one supreme God. Chapter 3, Baal and Islamic perspective. Thousands of years later, the name Baal appears again in the Quran. In Surah as Safat, the prophet Elias is described confronting his people who worship Baal. The message remained consistent: humanity was called back to worship the one true God. Interestingly, all three Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, agree on one thing. Baal was not simply a historical figure. He became a symbol of spiritual deviation. Chapter 4, Dark Rituals and the Mystery of Sacrifice, is where Baal's story enters its most controversial territory. Some historical records suggest that human sacrifice existed within the religious practices of Phoenician and Carthaginian cultures, which were culturally connected to Baal traditions. Archaeologists discovered burial sites in Carthage containing ashes and bones of children. Some researchers believe these were evidence of ritual sacrifices. Others argue these sites may have simply been cemeteries for children who died naturally. The debate continues today, but one fact remains: in many ancient traditions, sacrifice was considered the ultimate communication between humans and divine forces. Chapter 5, From God to Demon. As Christianity spread across Europe, Baal underwent another transformation. In medieval demonology literature, Baal appears as one of the rulers of hell. In mystical texts such as the Ars Goetia, Baal is described as a supernatural entity believed to possess powers like invisibility. This transformation reflects a recurring pattern in religious history. Gods from older belief systems often became demons in newer religious traditions. Baal was not the only one to undergo this transformation, but his name became one of the most enduring. Chapter 6, Baal and Global Elite Narrative. In the modern era, the name Baal has reappeared in a very different context. No longer inside ancient temples, no longer only within sacred scriptures. but within theories about global power. Some modern narratives link Baal to symbolic rituals among global elites, secret societies, and hidden power structures. In popular culture, ancient symbols are often associated with elite groups as representations of dominance and control. However, from an academic perspective, there is no concrete evidence proving that Baal worship survived into modern global organizations. Sociologists often view these narratives as reflections of society's fear of invisible power. Throughout history, humans have created symbols to explain forces they cannot control. Chapter 7, Why Baal Never Disappeared. Her name Baal survives because it represents something bigger than a religious figure. It represents the eternal conflict between humanity and power. In ancient times, that power was nature. In modern times, that power may appear as global economics, international politics, or technologies that shape human life. Baal became a metaphor, a symbol, a mirror of humanity's collective fears. Chapter 8, Between Fact and Myth. When discussing Baal, we stand at the intersection of history, theology, and popular culture. History shows Baal as part of ancient Middle Eastern religious systems. Sacred scriptures present Baal as a symbol of idol worship. Modern culture often transforms Baal into a symbol of global mystery. These three perspectives often blend together, making it difficult to separate fact from imagination. Chapter 9, Baal is a reflection of civilization. Looking deeper, Baal teaches us something about the evolution of human civilization. He shows how early humans tried to understand nature through mythology. He shows how religions evolved through ideological conflict. He shows how ancient symbols can survive and change meaning over time. Baal is not just part of the past. He is a story about how humanity understands power. Chapter 10, The Mystery That Still Lives Today. The world has changed dramatically. Technology has replaced mythology. Science has replaced ritual. Yet the name Baal still appears in global discussions, films, literature, and social theories. Perhaps not because Baal is still worshipped, but because humanity is still trying to understand forces greater than itself. Final question, what do humans truly worship? If history teaches us anything, it is that humans constantly search for symbols to represent power, hope, and fear. Baal was once a storm god, then a symbol of spiritual deviation, then a mythological figure, and eventually a symbol of hidden global power. But the greatest question may not be about Baal. The greatest question may be about humanity itself, about how we understand power, about how we face fear, and about how ancient symbols continue to live, even as the world changes. Because sometimes the greatest mystery in history is not who humans worship, but why humans always feel the need to worship something.